Hello, everyone. We're back with Ken Dombrowski, Executive Life Coach and Master Hypnotist. And today I want to discuss something I think is very important that people know by the time they come to us or when they're even considering something like this. And that's full transparency and how important that is for sessions.
There is an incredible amount of value that goes, it's not just value, it's actually critical to have transparency. And what that means is the ability to be open and honest about your entire life as a whole. Because we are not going to help someone with a singular item. I have depression, okay? We're not going to work on just depression. We're going to work on and talk about every aspect of your life that contributes to depression. So it becomes this overall, like kind of global or, kind of a program that encompasses everything. And what's really funny is when people will say to me something like, I have something I'm thinking about. This is just the stupidest thing. This is going to sound stupid. I know this is going to sound dumb. I don't even know why I'm going to say this. And I'll say, please, whatever you have to say is valid. And then they'll say something, about my dog when I was 6 years old, something happened. And it can end up being this huge turning point in a session. So that's one type of transparency. It's like the things that you don't even think matter, but they come to you in the moment as a notion. So the chances are it's important to what we're talking about. Then there's the other kind of transparency where we get clients, unfortunately, who only want to work on one specific item and then ignore everything else about their life. And we can't do that. I tell people you're in the wrong place. I cannot help you if we're not going to talk about everything. Okay, well, I'll talk about this and this, but that one thing, I'm not talking about that. Well, here again, there's nothing I can do for you. Where that can gets us in trouble is that we're ignoring that, and chances are the thing that we're ignoring is the exact biggest problem that they have had, and it's the biggest reason why they're having the depression, the anxiety, the fears, the doubts, the feeling stuck in their life. That's going to be the one thing, and they're trying to protect it. Then we have other types of problem where this is very commonly we'll have women come in who are in a narcissistic relationship with their husband or boyfriend, fiance, and he's just doesn't treat her well. Well, I can think of right now one woman in particular came to me several years ago to quit smoking. It was a single session smoking cessation, which is like 2 hours long. We have this whole program in this one session. Well, anyway, as soon as she gets in the office, she starts unloading very quickly about problems in her marriage. Her husband is mean to her. He's very abusive verbally, never physically, she said, and so she's feeling very lost and alone and stuck and alienated and all the typical signs that you see in a narcissistic relationship. So we had to talk about that for quite a while, and we were barely able to fit in the actual hypnosis because she was desperate, and I'm trying to help her, even though she should have done more of a program. Well, got done with that, got her she was done in the office, and about 2 or 3 days later, I get a phone call from her husband, and he's chewing me out, telling me, "How dare you? How dare you talk to my wife about our marital issues, our personal private life? That wasn't what she came to you for. She came to you to quit smoking, and that's all you should have talked about." So now I have to help this idiot understand, this guy who's being very mean to me now. So now I can see exactly what she's telling me is true because as soon as I answer the phone, he's barking at me. That help him understand that this was exactly why she's smoking, and we need to resolve some of that in order to quit. Well, he didn't care. He didn't want to hear any of that. All he knew was that in this moment, he was out of control of what was going on, and that wasn't going to sit well with a narcissist. So anyhow, we can see the critical need for transparency of your entire life, everything going on, past and present, and even look at what your future will look like in order to heal and move on.
I think something you said earlier that I learned very early on, because you're my dad, is that the first thought that does come to you is the right thought. That I don't know is not an acceptable answer. That's it. At least that's how I grew up. But it's not an acceptable answer. There's something, you're thinking something, just say it. as meaningless as it may feel to you, it's coming up for a reason. So just run with that. And if you don't want to talk about it at all, then you really need to find something else that kind of suits you, but you're probably not going to get through your problems that way. I mean, we've had a couple people just this year, they're super hard to work with in the office. The first 2 sessions, they're getting nowhere, things like that. And then they start opening up. It's like this program will take as long as someone makes it take. Obviously, first of all, there are certain things that just take longer to work through because trauma can be very, very deep and just take a while to get through. But other people, they're just not saying what they need to say. They're not partaking properly. And the second they start partaking, they start seeing those differences, they start making changes, and next thing you know, they're done with the program and they need nothing else. So the full transparency is 1, going to save you time, 2, going to save you money, and 3, make you feel a whole hell of a lot better a lot quicker.
Perfectly put. Perfect.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ken.
My pleasure.
I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and thank you for watching our video.
Thank you.